Yo, what's going on, everyone? We got Motion Casting here, episode 1, long time coming. I'm J Dubs here with the boy G Money. Like I said, we've been talking about this for a while now, and we finally got episode 1 rocking and rolling.
Let's get
Let's
it,
get
Dub.
it.
Yeah,
Let's get
I remember us recording that video podcast. I don't know if it was the fall. Whenever we got Southern, 30 minutes long. We were just rambling. We're like, dude, we should just start a podcast one of these times. So we've been talking about it. Now we're doing it. So let's rock.
Yeah, it was about a year ago, and we were getting ready to go to that country bar out to Greg's.
Greg's, yeah.
I think that place is closed down now. I think it's closed down,
Yeah,
but
RIP. We were there that was the thing, is the whole team was there every Friday night whenever we
yeah.
were at Southern in the fall.
Oh God, that was a good
Yeah.
place. Good times there. Good
Yeah.
times. But why don't you tell the people, G, why the hell are we even doing a podcast? Who is this podcast for? Why did we start it? Like, what's the deal?
So I think the main thing for this podcast is we came from different backgrounds, but similar. We both played sports our whole lives, and going through from that transition to like sports to normal life has been like a big difference. So we kind of just wanted to use this as a platform that we could like bring people in, get different perspectives on how they went through that transition, what our lives were like then compared to now. Um, and kind of using like our sports life to build off our life now, like setting goals with nutrition, fitness, our everyday business life, trying to make money. So there's really not a exact like storyline to this podcast. I think it's just two guys in their 20s just trying to, make it and kind of going on old stuff. So
Yeah. I like it. I like it. Just the raw talk, no scripted, just off the
raw
cuff.
talk. That's
Yeah. Raw talk, whatever we're thinking. But tell the people a little bit about GG. Who are you? A little breakdown. Where you from? What'd you do? All those types of things.
Yeah, so I'm from Girard, Illinois, small town, I think about 1,000 people. Growing up, all I did was play sports. That's all I knew how to do. So then I got into high school, played basketball and baseball, grew up in a basketball family. I was a little undersized in high school, so I kind of knew that basketball probably wasn't going to be my path if I wanted to play in college, especially at a high level. So as my high school career was going on, really didn't have any offers for baseball. I knew that baseball was probably the area I was going to be able to play college in. I think my junior year, I got an offer from Lincoln Land Community College, which luckily I did at the time because COVID was my senior year. Didn't even get a senior year of baseball. So I'd committed pretty much right away whenever they offered me. Go there in the fall, not thinking much of it. I'm like, dude, like, obviously you play travel ball and you play against really good players, but it just gets so much different once you get into college. Like you got so much like emotion that comes along with it, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, you're a freshman in college. Some of these guys are old, not necessarily at the junior college level, but, everyone's trying to get familiar with everyone's personalities because you're around each other every day. You obviously have your social life in college. So there's a lot that comes with it. So I was like a, a mess. Like the first couple of weeks I was there, I was like, dude, this is going to be a big transition. So went there. My freshman year turned out to be really good. We made the World Series. Went into my sophomore year fall, had a pretty good sophomore year fall. So started getting some offers. I really didn't know what level I could play at, to be honest with you. I mean, I thought I was probably like a Division 2 level guy. And then I started getting some Division 1 offers. Uh, and some of the guys on the team were like, dude, you need to go play Division 1, this and that. I honestly, like, I wasn't a D1 or bust guy. I just wanted to play at a good school. Well, I kind of just like, once I got that first D1 offer, bro, I pulled the trigger and told myself I wasn't going to do it, which I mean, I'm not saying I'm regretting doing that, but like, as soon as I got that first Division 1 offer, I commit right there. Go to Fort Wayne, mid-major in the Horizon, 2 years there. It was definitely a struggle, ups and downs. I think we won 20 games 1 year and then 20 games the next. So we definitely weren't like a great team by any means, but it was a good learning curve going there. Because I never gone through those type of struggles like that. I'd won a lot of games my whole high school career, first 2 years in college. So that was definitely a learning curve for me. And then after my last year there, I kind of was like, I'm done, play indie ball maybe. So didn't get any offers to play indie ball the first couple weeks, and I was just back home working. I'm like, dude, F this. Like,
Mm.
I'm like, I got this extra year where I could go play Division two or NAI. I'm like, why not? Why not hop in the portal and see what's out there? So I hop in the portal, started having some schools reaching out to me. I'm gonna be honest, my mind was made up like I'm going to Florida and playing in the Sunshine State, or I'm not. I'm not going anywhere. So that's why it was kind of funny whenever I was talking to some of these other schools because I'm like, I'll just kinda, like, see what they're gonna throw out there, but in all honesty, I'm not even considering it unless I go in the Sunshine State.
Mm.
So, luckily, OD calls me. Didn't know much about OD or TC. Didn't know anything about Florida Southern, to be honest. Like, really, to be honest, the only team I knew in that conference was Tampa.
Mm.
I just knew it was a really good conference and all the teams were good. And so I look into the school, I'm like, "Ooh, 9 natties?" Then I saw that OD was a Midwest guy, that he kinda talked to me about that. Actually, coached one of, the guys that I know from around here. He played for OD whenever he was at, you know what that school was in Indiana? They're called, like, the Pumas.
Nah, I don't remember. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, so anyway, so kinda was able to get some, advice from him on OD. And, like, Lakeland's got some history with, like, I'm a Tigers fan, so they got some history with, like, that old stadium, their minor league teams there. So I'm like, this just seems like it's, perfect. Like, everything just seems to be aligning the right way.
Mhm.
I'm like, "Okay, let's rock." So then went there for a year, was great, met, a million of just down to earth great dudes. Was a great area to live. Just, yeah, Florida Southern was the shit, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was the shit. First few days after I commit, not OD, Duff reaches out to me. He's like, "Yo, you trying to get a house together?" I'm like, "Yes, let's get a house."
Do
So
it.
me and Duff get a house. First day, I move in, I roll in with like a 30 pack of beer, and I'm like, well, let's see if this guy's about it.
See.
um, and I'm like, all right, you trying to split this tonight, whatever. And I remember Duff goes, I don't drink beer. So in my head, I'm like, does he not drink at all? And I remember like asking that. You're like, no, I drink tequila straight. I'm like, what?
Let's get
And then we rock out to Rec Room. I think we went to Link's Rec Room, had a
Mhm.
fire time. But yeah, that's kind of how I got to where I am today. Played a year of indie ball at Windy City afterwards, had a great time. Really never dealt with injuries in my career, did last summer. Haven't really been able to recover or feel the same since then, but I kind of knew my time was done, ready to move on in life, play some golf, make some money. So yeah, that's
Mhm.
where I am today. That's how
Hell
I got
yeah.
here.
And what are you doing now?
Right now I work for my family's car dealership, do a little bit of everything there. That's kind of what I got raised on. My grandpa has had some car dealerships for years. The one I work at has been open since 1946. So it's kind of like a family thing that means a lot to me, my family, all of us. So, yeah, something, I want to work towards because it obviously is a personal thing, and obviously for livelihood, but more personal. And yeah, it's just something I want to be able to build, make better, and work towards as like a goal. Because I know my grandpa and my dad have worked their asses off their whole life for it. And my mom has as well. So yeah.
Got to keep the tradition rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
Mm-hmm.
the tradition rolling.
So how about you? Let's hear a little bit about your story, how you got to where you are today.
Okay. All right. So grew up, born and raised Sarasota, Florida. Same thing as you, Grant, growing up playing basketball, mostly some football, some baseball in there. Just that was pretty much my life growing up in elementary school, middle school, going into high school. And actually going into high school, I didn't even try out for basketball my freshman year. But went to all the
Yeah, yeah.
workouts
Shout
and
out the hoop mixtape.
shout out to the Hoop Mixtape. My junior and senior year, I ended up playing basketball. I just said, screw it. Why not? Go to, what is it? JMDV Productions on YouTube. Go check those highlights out. Boy, don't play with me. Anyone watching this
Cool.
podcast
I
get it
didn't
too.
I didn't know. I knew you could jump a little from whenever we were at the rec center, but my God, I didn't know you could jump like that. You're yamming.
Yes, bro. Back in the day until I wore all that other stuff and could barely jog or run. But yeah, going into high school, people told me that I should play baseball. I didn't really think I was any good at it, but I went to all the workouts we had in the fall, went to all the practices, everything like that in the fall before there was actually tryouts and everything. And everyone was kind of clicked up because everyone played travel ball together, and I didn't really play any travel ball. But fast forward, all the workouts came and went. The tryouts came, and I ended up making a team by surprise to me and my parents. And we had practice, I think, like the next following day was our first practice on a Saturday. And before the practices started, we all met at home plate around the Halo before practice started. So it was the first day of practice. I go up there, kind of by myself, didn't really know anyone still.
Mhm.
And some kid turns around. We're good friends now, and he goes, "Hey man, practice is over, right? Or tryouts are over, right? This is like practice. Like there's no more tryouts. Like you should probably shouldn't be here." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I know. This is the first day of practice. Like we're supposed to meet here today." And he's like, "Oh, you made it?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Wow.
And
Wow.
so funny story there. But yeah, then I didn't play like the first couple games of my JV season. Our first baseman ended up quitting and going and continuing with football because he was our quarterback for the football team. I got a pinch hit at bat one game, and yeah, just from there got a hit and just played and ended up committing to UCF my senior year.
Mhm.
My first fall at UCF, exit meetings came and went. I had an okay fall, I thought, and the coaches said that I was the 36th out of the 35th best guy in the locker room. So I was the worst player in the locker room, is what they said. So then I transferred to Polk State Community College, went there for a couple years. I was on pace my freshman year before COVID started to shatter the not all time, shatter the single season strikeout record as a hitter, but COVID shut the season down. I think I was like 30 or 40 strikeouts at like 20 something games as a hitter. So about to just absolutely shatter the single season strikeout record as a hitter. So COVID ended that. My coach called me up after we all had to go home. He's like, "Hey man, we'll give you one more fall. If you don't figure it out, then you're done playing baseball." Like, oh shit. Okay. Well, got to figure this shit out or go get a job or something. I don't know. So, fast forward a year and a half, figured it out, all American, then went to, play in the Cape and ended up doing pretty well there. Had a couple teams turn me in. Nothing though, no calls. Never got picked or anything. So I ended up actually going to Houston here. I went there from summer ball with a pulled hip flexor. And then this was kind of like, I guess, not the downfall, but this is when all the injuries started taking place. So pulled hip flexor, pulled hamstring, first day back, tore my PCL on my knee sliding, then tore both rotator cuffs, labrums. I tore my UCL a couple years back, and then came back again after the fall was over. After I played on all those things, rehabbed all of them. Came back a couple games later, tore my foot, and then ended up transferring to Florida Southern for a year or 2 years. First year, pulled hamstring, a couple other things. And then second year is when Grant and I met. Grant had a hell of a year last year. He left out that he was an All American, probably hit like 500 with like 15 and played a gold glove center field, but he just forgot to mention that part. But we came a little bit short last year.
Mhm.
Came up short, but it is what it is. We had an amazing team and met a bunch of great guys.
Mhm.
All of the relationships I've met playing baseball have just been amazing, and I wouldn't trade it, for
Mhm.
anything.
I
Right?
think,
So
it's just a big testament to you because obviously kids in college, like athletes go through adversity and most of the time it's just like, not playing maybe because of their skill level, this and that. But like from the jump, like people telling you like, how'd you make the team to then go in the UCF? You go through whatever you go through there at UCF, and then you struggle at Polk, but then you bounce back the next year and an All American. Like, I mean, that's a testament, because you could have sat down after that first year or being let go from UCF or whatever and been like, man, I suck. But no, you just kept working. which is the biggest testament to you. And then go to Houston, go through all those injuries, and you're still battling, fighting, and that's just stuff you can't control. I mean, you work your ass off and then stuff like that happens. I mean, it always seems to happen to the best people and the guys that work the hardest for some reason. I don't know why it works out that way. And then go to Florida Southern, have a good 2 years at Florida Southern, still battling injuries the whole time. I mean, I remember last year, you're battling injuries, can hardly even run. And homie hits for the cycle, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like,
Yeah. I
I,
forgot about
I'm
that.
like, Duff was like could like hardly even walk into the locker room or the clubhouse before the game, and homie just goes out there and hits a casual cycle. Like I'm like, wow. No, I was like, I've seen some performances in my college career, but that's top three, if not one for sure.
I don't know
So I
how
mean,
the triple happened.
I think Duff had to hit it. You had to hit it in the utmost perfect spot for you to get a triple. I think that's why I left that part out. How Duff can even run and he gets a triple. I mean, I don't even know.
I
I mean, I
think
might have had like 2 or 3 triples last year. If I mean,
I
yeah.
think the ball hit off the fence, the kid dove or something, and the ball just like ricocheted way off the fence or something like that. I don't know.
And we don't even have like a big foul area at Southern.
No.
Like down the lines, it doesn't really. I'm thinking of it. I don't think it gets too. Maybe down the left field line, but you hit yours down the right field line.
Yeah. I don't even know. Yeah, I think it was right field, right center, whatever it was. But yeah, fucking crazy shit there. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I got to where we're at now.
But talk a little bit about after that first game was done. Obviously we hosted a regional, we lost, fell up short. Thing that sucked is we knew we really only had one shot at it, meaning like the
Mhm,
team we had in for last year.
mhm.
I mean, we had a really good team. I mean, you look up, up to top to bottom. I mean, loaded.
Yeah, it was.
And so we fall short. I know for me, it took a while for it to like hit and like sink in, like the shit's over.
Mhm.
But like kind of what was your impression the first few days after, weeks after, and months after, and kind of how you got to what you do currently?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it hit me like the first day. Like the first day I woke up, like I remember the first thing thinking, like, okay, what the fuck? Like, what do we do now? What do I do now? Like, there was nothing. It felt like I was just nothing. I don't even know
Mhm.
how to explain it. It was super weird, but uh, ended up just working out during the summer, trying to figure out what to do. I was doing like a subcontracting job with my buddy Nick, or my old roommate, and we were like literally driving around like Tampa, Lakeland, Sarasota, St. Pete, all around this area, like Orlando, trying to find houses to like pretty much dig the wire for. And like sometimes we would drive around and there would be 0 houses for the day, like
Dig the wire, meaning for like what?
for Spectrum, for like
Oh, yep,
the coax or
yep.
coax cable, like the pipe and all that stuff. So some days we drive around to go check a neighborhood like an hour and a half away, and there'd be nothing. Be like, what the fuck? So I ended up doing some interviews for some jobs, got some help from a lady who helps athletes connect with jobs. I was getting into like couple final interviews for these jobs, and they were telling me like, "Oh man, you don't have enough experience for like this entry level job." And I was like, "What the fuck? Okay, doesn't even make any sense." And then some other jobs were like, "Yeah, man, you're just not like maybe the right fit." And then eventually our lease ran up at the house, at our house in Lakeland, because it was 12-month lease. So had to move back home. Had no idea what I was going to do. I was gaining weight. I was like, okay, bro, like, what are you doing here? Like, what's going to happen? You got to figure this out. And I remember my mom telling me like, whatever you are passionate about, then that's what you should do. Go think about it. And after that, everything else will follow. So I remember I remember sitting down in my bed and was like, okay, what do I really like to do? Like baseball's over. And I thought back to there's a YouTube channel that I have of me posting videos in middle school, literally talking about nutrition. It was like, hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Jack. I'm going to be posting nutrition videos on here. There's like a workout video and all this other stuff like on YouTube. I was like, okay, like no matter what, I've always focused on my nutrition, like food wise and working out and stuff like that. So, all right, maybe I'll try being a trainer.
Mhm.
And so literally like same day, I think, or the day after that, an ad came up for Six Pack Macros to be a fitness coach with their virtual gym launch, to be like pretty much a trainer virtually. inside of their virtual gym. So joined that, did pretty well from the jump. Well, not from the very jump. I didn't do well, but it took me a little bit of time, figured it out, signed some clients, and then they asked me to be their coach success manager. I'm now their senior coach success manager. I'm running my online coaching business, so balancing those two out. It's been about 10 months ish now, kind of on and off. Last few months really been locked in on it. So yeah, that's where we're at right now.
That's
Here we
what
are.
this is my first week on Duffy's program, which has been great. I told Duffy, I'm like, I kind of went through the same thing a little bit. Like once sports got done, I didn't have like a goal or anything I was working towards, so I was like, why even work out? So I kind of started feeling the effects similar to Duffy. My mood and everything was just shit.
Mhm.
And so I started working out some more this spring, wasn't seeing a lot of progress. And then I told Duffy, it just got to the point where I was like, dude, I know it's not from like me working hard in the weight room. Because I know I work hard. I know how to work out. Like I've worked out my whole life, but I'm
Right.
just not seeing the results that I used to in college.
Mhm.
Well, so Duffy kind of got into the nutrition with me, broke it down like from the scale, like the tracking your macros, weighing the food and all that. And man, it's just been like this first week, like my mood and everything, just from eating to just being able to track stuff, this and that. It's just been great. And I know that some other people that have been with Duff, they've seen crazy results. So yeah, I mean, shout out Duff's program. If you're ever thinking about going on a fitness journey or whatever, and I think everyone should reach out to Duff because Duff knows his shit. And I mean, just go look at his page, bro. I mean, he's got the results to show for it for the people that have been there and worked with him. And I think every other person that's worked with Duff would say the same thing. So hit up Duff.
I appreciate you, Brody. And at the end of the day, though, you guys are the ones that still do the work. I can lay out everything, but y'all are the ones always doing the work, right? We're about to start week 2.
Mhm.
No one's weighing the food for you. No one's lifting the weights for you. You guys are the ones. You are the one that's doing that. So props to you,
Facts.
bro. Let's fucking
Facts.
go.
And one thing I want to ask is, so obviously you competed in a bodybuilding competition.
Mhm.
How did you get to that point? Like, what kind of was it? Just one day randomly that you're like, I need to work towards some goal, or something? Is that kind of how that came about? You're like, man, screw it, I'm gonna do this.
It was so I woke up. I could actually tell it real quick. So January 6th, I woke up and the scale said 220. I was like, oh my fuck, bro. Took a picture of myself in the mirror. I was like, all right, man, you're a fucking fitness coach. Like, the fuck are you doing? So next morning I started. Um, and went on. I was like, I don't know exactly how much weight I'm going to lose, but I know I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to fucking start looking like a coach, like a real legit coach. So let's lock it in.
Mhm.
And I got to about 190 or maybe a little under 190. We had a trip booked going to Cancun, and it was like the next week. I was like, all right, I'm just going to cut to Cancun and then I'll be good here. Like, this is like about 30 pounds or so, like 35 pounds. You'll be good after this. And then I was looking at it. I was like, damn, man, like you're in really good shape right now. Like, this has been a couple months. Like, why don't you just think about maybe doing a show?
Mhm.
And I was like going back and forth about it. I got back. I looked up some bodybuilding coaches online and I got on a call with the first guy, shout out Ryan, and got on there and I was like, hey man, I don't really know if I want to do one or not. Like, let me know like kind of how it works. And he's like, yeah, man, you're really not that far off. Like probably like 6 or 8 more weeks and you could be ready to go. And I was like, fuck it. I'm already this deep into it. I'm like 3 months deep, 4 months deep at this point. Let's just finish it off and let's go.
Mhm.
So it definitely got a little bit more intense. It's not like a bodybuilding prep, especially once you get within like the first or like those last 4 weeks. And there's being in deficit for that long, like your hormones start to get messed up. I couldn't sleep through the night. Your food noise is
Mm.
crazy, libido, all that stuff is just cooked, like just absolutely
Mm.
cooked. But yeah, ended up doing it. Um, I wasn't really sure what to expect for the first time, and went out there for the first round for just the novice, which is first time men's physique guys. Everyone came in fourth place. Went out there again and I came in first place for men's physique open, which is all the guys in men's physique open B. So all the guys in my class, came
Mhm.
in first place for that. So, didn't really make any sense, honestly, thinking about it. Like I didn't I came in fourth place for all the beginner class and then came in first for my open class, which is not just beginners. So went out there the second time and my stage presence and everything they said was different, but just comes to show you it's not all about how you look, about how you
Mhm.
present yourself. But yeah, gonna take a break on that for a little bit. Going
Which
to
that's what I remember you calling me and you're telling me you're doing the competition and I was like, "Yo," I was like, "You think you got a legit shot at this?" And you're like, "Yeah, I got it with this coach, whatever." And you know, he doesn't think I'm far off, whatever. So I think I really got a shot at this. I'm like, "Ooh, let's go." Homie goes out there, wins it. I'm like, knew
come
it from the
on, man.
jump.
Come on. Yeah.
But yeah, talk a little bit about I saw today really is whenever you decided or you put it out there publicly. You're going more towards like an athletic performance side of things. So yeah, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I'm deciding right now. I am looking it up. Actually, it's Apex. I'm going off of the bodybuilding for a little bit just because it just I'm honestly still recovering
And
from it.
I bet you're like doing this, your energy levels, just your everyday life would be a little bit better than the bodybuilding stuff. Cause I just know like making those powerful athletic movements, it's like a big testosterone booster.
Mhm.
So I think, you know, life wise, you'll feel a lot better than what you did doing the bodybuilding stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And hired a coach. Shout out to Beyond Built and RJ. They're legit, the most legit out there. So shout out to them. But yeah, with like this Apex event, so you run like a 40-yard dash, you do a med ball toss, a vertical jump, a broad jump, and then you do a push and a pull, so a bench and a deadlift, and then you have endurance at the end, so a 1 mile run. So it's like you have the speed, you have the power, the strength, the endurance. It's all in one, right? So you're really going to be trying to be strong, athletic, jacked, fast, explosive, like all those things in one event.
Hmm.
So probably going to go with that one. See where it goes.
Yeah. And you know, this just popped in my head, but I was thinking about like, you know, us talking about like our current jobs and what we're doing. How about
Mm.
I gotta tell a story on so Duff and I, whenever we first moved in, you know, we're going through Facebook. I think it was Facebook Marketplace, and we were getting all of our stuff for the house. Like we are getting a couch and trying to get a table and stuff. So we go to Winter Haven, I want to say, to get a table and chairs. You know where this is going?
Yeah.
So we go to Winter Haven to get this table and chairs from this guy at his warehouse. And we're like loading this stuff up, and this guy goes, "Hey, like since you guys are like just living here now, like for school, would you guys be interested in working for me for a little bit?" And we're like, "Well, I mean, yeah, it just kind of depends on our schedule." With baseball, he goes, "Well, I can work around that, whatever." We're like, "What do you do?" And he does like landscaping, like trimming bushes, just like like planting trees and just stuff like that. And stuff like, yeah, we can make some extra money on the side, whatever. So this guy like starts hitting us up. um, I want to say I don't know how many times a week. Like we're going to lift at 6 in the morning, and then we're leaving straight from there and driving all the way over to Winter Haven to go help this guy out for I don't know 3 or 4 hours a day.
Damn, yeah, that was a
And
lot. And we had practice.
oh yeah, we are sweat. We are dude. I can only imagine the amount of calories a day we're burning.
Yeah, a
But
lot.
so we go and we're working for him. And it was like the weirdest thing because he like would like hit us up for a job, and then like a week or two would go by, wouldn't even pay us. Like I don't even know, like he was using like Cash App or whatever, and then just like completely like ghosted us. And I don't know, I don't think it was from like a work standpoint because we were always would get there like 20 minutes before he would say to get there.
Mhm.
And then homie wouldn't even show up till 30 minutes after he said he was gonna get there. So we'd be sitting in the car for 50 minutes waiting on him every single time, every time. And the funniest one is we're working in this subdivision, nice
Nice
ass
houses, like
nice
mansions.
houses,
Yeah.
yes. And we were probably working at one of the nicest houses in this whole subdivision,
Mhm.
and they have like a hedge that goes over their like overpass to get into their garage, like a
Huge.
nice hedge.
Yeah.
And I didn't even notice it at first, but then the next day we're like walking up with this guy, and he goes, "Yeah, I came back yesterday because that hedge was driving me crazy, so I had to trim it up a little bit." This thing was perfectly aligned, but once he said that, like he's like, "Does it look good now?" It went like compared to like whenever it's just like this, and it's like there's no like leaves or stuff on it because he like trimmed it all the way down to like the actual stick part. I'm like, yeah. I just remember I'm like, he said that, my jaw dropped. I know Duffy's jaw dropped, and I'm just like, Oh yeah, it looks really good. It looks way better.
That might have
I
been the
was
hardest I laughed, like, all year, I think. That might have been
Oh
hard.
my gosh, I was dying and I was like, "I cannot work for this guy anymore. This guy's just not serious. He's not real."
Yeah, it wasn't a real person.
I'm like I'm like, "We're working in these, like, $1,000,000 homes, and
Mhm.
this is what you do?" I'm like, "Fool, there's gotta be some better landscapers out there."
Yeah. I mean, dude, we used to grind that, like, yeah, a solid 4 hours, and then we would come home, shower maybe real quick, or maybe just throw our practice clothes on, we would just go.
Well, the first job we did, we worked at, what was that? It was, like, the school, we had to do all the mulch.
Oh,
We did
yeah.
all the mulching, and the guy was like, "How'd it take you guys so long to mulch or whatever?" And we're like, we're, like, mulching in between, like, bushes and stuff. I forgot about this being our first one. And, all the beds looked really good from where we mulched. 'Cause, like, we took our time to spread it out evenly.
And get
We weren't just
covered.
dumping down yeah, like,
Yeah.
we weren't just dumping down the bags and just kicking it around, whatever. So, we, like, had to leave for the day, whatever, so we texted him and was like, "Yeah, we got through this much, whatever, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Oh, you guys couldn't get through the whole thing?" I'm like, "What is homie on?"
It was
And,
it's so much. I don't even know how to explain how much it was, but it was a lot.
yes, it was every single bed at this whole facility.
Oh, there was
And
4
then
pallets
he's
of mulch, right? It was 4 pallets
at
of mulch
least, at
or
least,
5.
at least. And, he's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna send out some of my guys this afternoon to finish it up, whatever." And we had to finish the other side the next day or something, so we went and looked at the, side they did, and it literally just looked like they dumped the bags, just kicked it around, and it was, like, clumped
Yeah.
in some areas, and I'm like, "Okay," like
It was so bad. It looks
yeah, I was like, "I'd rather at least, like, take a little bit longer and, like, make it look good for these people," but I guess he was just in a rush to get the job done.
just trying to get paid.
Yeah, we actually I now I think about it, we actually worked a lot more jobs than I thought for that guy. Like, we did that one, we worked at some other place in Winter Haven that we did, like, a facility, like a hospital or something,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, no, we did a
then we
lot.
yeah, yeah, but no, I had to tell that story 'cause, that was something.
No, that was hilarious. I honestly forgot about that guy too. Oh, I don't even remember what his name was.
I don't either, but it was nice because we were out there getting a tan on, sweating our balls off.
Grinding. Those remember we
Yes.
had some of those trees, those were heavy, like, heavy as shit, out of the bucket and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot.
But no, that was a good time looking back, the fall that year. That was honestly, I think, good learning curve for, us just getting closer before the season,
Mhm,
started, because we were able to spend some time doing that, and not just, like, on the baseball field, but off the baseball
mhm.
field and not in, like, a college, like, bar scene or anything like that. So, no, that was cool. So we did that and, yeah, had a good fall. I mean, I don't know if you got any stories from the fall of the year we met.
I mean, I was honestly just thinking about I mean, there's definitely a couple, but, like, the first week we were there, um, the definition, if you look up the word bender in the dictionary, that's exactly what this shit was. We moved in on, what was it, a Saturday?
That sounds right.
A Saturday or Sunday?
Mhm.
And it was a week before school started, I think. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in
That's
a
probably
row.
right. That's
In a
probably right.
row.
And I remember, the next week we, like, went to the clubhouse for something, like, maybe you're gonna show me the clubhouse or whatever, 'cause I didn't even been in there yet.
Mhm.
And we're rolling up, and I know we were out drinking, like, the whole night before. Haven't even met OD in person yet, and I'm, like, probably hung cheddar.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I, I remember I'm walking into the building, I meet OD, and he goes, "I know a Midwest boy like you was drinking a 30 pack of Busch Light last night," and hell yes, I was.
Yeah, maybe more than that.
Yeah, but no, we were on a bender for sure. I know our thing on Friday nights was we always went to Wild Greg's every single Friday night, Saturday,
Um,
Leamster's Rec Room. But it's like, I'll tell you what though, obviously like now that's not something you want to do. And I'm not saying every college athlete should do this, but it's definitely good to get out with your team and do stuff because I know that's where you build a lot of team camaraderie.
Mhm.
Because you might have some of those guys on the team that are getting on other people for going out and drinking. Obviously, you gotta be smart about it. You don't want to be that guy doing stupid things, making yourself look bad, making the team look bad. And obviously, you need to look after your body. But I know I played on 3 different teams in college, and the 2 that I played on that were really good at Lincoln Land and Florida Southern, our team camaraderie was insane on both. Like, everyone loved each other. Everyone pulled for each other. There was never that guy amongst the team that was kind of a cancer. Even the guys that weren't playing, they were like the biggest cheerleaders ever, and they pulled. They just all they cared about was winning. And I think a big reason that was is because our off the field activities, we always did everything together. If that's just like grilling out, playing bags, going out, whatever it is, we always did everything as a team. Whenever I was at Fort Wayne, that wasn't the case. There was like kind of a group of us that would, and then a group of people that wouldn't. I mean, they're kind of just like a little bit of tight asses on things. And I think that created such a big like, and that's why I would always be like, it's not even like you have to go out and like party or whatever, but just be around the team and
Mm.
like have fun, find something to do if that's going golf and whatever. But it just created like a separation amongst the team. Like you'd have a group guys here, whatever. And in those Southern and Lincoln teams, there was no like groups of people. It's just everyone. I mean, like, shoot, we used to have, I don't know if we did it on Sundays, if it was in the spring or the fall, whenever I would cook out and everyone would come over and we'd play beer die.
Yeah, I think that was like maybe Saturdays during the day, and then everyone would go home for a little bit, and then everyone would come back to the house. Not everyone,
Yes.
but
Yeah. Yes, we did that. And I mean,
that
that's
was
just
fun.
something small. That's just something small that, went a long way. I mean, I don't know if you have the same perspective on things.
No, I agree. I mean,
From your different, I mean, you played at 4 different schools, so you obviously saw many different personalities.
yeah, I mean, I know like at UCF, that was a crazy time. Like, I think 99% of the guys, from what I remember, went out. There's maybe like 1 or 2 guys that didn't. So that team camaraderie was really good. Granted, I was only there for the summer and fall. But at Polk State, I mean, we didn't really have much that we could do, but we did have the baseball house. And whenever we could do stuff, we would, but it wasn't really like nothing we could really do much there. I mean, Winter Haven, if you get never
Mhm.
been, it's very extreme. It's like a smaller, I mean, you have been to Winter Haven, but it's like, there's not much going on there. You could go to the bar on a Saturday night, their biggest one, there would be 5 people
I
there.
feel like it's more hick type bar scenes
Yeah.
there in Winter Haven, small town. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, Winter Haven's not a small town, but it gives you like a small town vibe, a little more than Lakeland does.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, our team camaraderie was really good because we were always at the field. We were there doing shit at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. We would go to breakfast sometimes as a team, not as a team, but some of us would after. We go to Chipotle maybe after practice. We'd be at the field for 5 hours. So we were pretty much always together. And then whenever we did have something to celebrate, we would celebrate it.
Yeah.
But
Not to cut you off or anything, but talking about being at the field at 5 a.m. Talk a little bit because everyone, says JUCO bandits, whatever. Talk about your JUCO lifestyle, like some of the hardships of JUCO ball, what it's like. 'Cause I know we definitely had some shitty days at JUCO that were not fun.
yeah, ours were pretty crazy. I know that once COVID hit, it had to change up a little bit just because of COVID, I guess,
Mhm.
rules stuff like that. But there was times we had was it called Hell Week?
Yeah, we had that too.
Is that what it's called? It was called Hell Week, maybe. And we would have to literally chase the golf cart around at like 5 a.m. We'd have to run what's called like a denison, which is like you run all the way to this football field, you do up downs and do all these other things, then
Ooh.
run a lap, then run back to the field. Like there is some crazy stuff. And the sprinklers would be on at the field.
Probably smelled like shit, those Florida
Yeah,
sprinklers.
crazy stuff. There'd be no rules. We'd be hitting for like 4 hours off the machines. It'd be dark. Like there was crazy stuff going on. Like there was one time, craziest one was after we got home from a series out. We might have got swept. We had to take our shirts off. It was like it was after a night game, so it was probably around like 10 p.m. We had to take our shirts off in the locker room, flip them inside out, put them back on, took our name tags off, threw them in the trash, and we had to do a bunch of different conditioning. We had to take a helmet, all the hitters did, throw it up and hit it around the infield until it was in pieces, and we had to keep running. And it was like we didn't finish until it was like 3 or 4 AM, and then we had practice the next morning, and then we had a
Mm,
game the day after that. So
yeah.
there was crazy stuff.
Yeah, and it's definitely a different lifestyle. I mean, I know from that to whenever I went to my 4-year schools, I mean, I think there's a little more regulations whenever you're playing through NCAA, but junior college, it feels like anything goes. And in the time, like in the moment, whatever, like, wow, what's even the point? This isn't even baseball. This sucks. But looking back, it's like going through those crazy hardships in junior college, like it really changes your mindset. Um, Going into 4-year schools. I think that's why a lot of 4-year schools like JUCO guys and just like the team, like you become really close because of going through all that. I mean, we had some days like the practice. I remember the practices were so hard. We really didn't do like too much crazy stuff, like chasing a golf cart and all that. But just the practices were miserable. Like I remember something we used to do all the time is we would like put a tee. I can't remember if we just put it like right in front of home plate and we'd have like a group of people hitting, but then we'd have a live defense out there off a tee. So obviously it's on a tee. The ball's going into the gap every single time.
Mm.
And I'd be playing center field and maybe
Oh,
I'm the only one out there in center field, or maybe there's one other person with me. But every single time, like I'm running to the gap, getting the ball, throwing it in, back to center, next guy up hitting. And the funniest one is my freshman year, we had this guy that was his third year at Lincoln Land. His name was Todd. Great guy. Like part of the reason, I was able to learn a lot playing out there with him in the outfield. And like Todd and I like drank quite a bit the night before and we had this practice and this practice was miserable and we're doing that and Todd goes, "Hey, stand there and get big." I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "I'm about to stand right behind you and throw up." And sure enough, we're like doing this drill and he stands, turns right behind me and throws up out there in the middle of this drill. Oh, that was so funny. But yeah, I mean, those practices were miserable. But outside of that, like I remember we had one day we had a track right by our baseball field. We had to run a lap and then the pitchers ran a lap. And then we ran 2 laps, then 3 laps, then 4 laps. Then we worked down to 3, 2, 1. Oh
oh,
boy. Ooh boy. I was hot. I
that
was hot.
that
Yeah.
was
That
punishment, or what was that?
I don't know why we did that. The only time we really had punishment was, and this was like my welcome to college moment. I was like freaking out. Obviously, COVID's going on at this time. It's the fall of 2020, and Lincoln Land always has what's like the thing before like school starts that you have to go to? Is it like, oh, new school or new student
Uh,
orientation?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Orientation or whatever.
Hate that.
So we have orientation, but there's always a party for the athletes for orientation day.
Mm.
So the volleyball girls at their house throw this orientation party. Everyone goes, wake up like a day or two after, haven't even started practice yet or anything. So I don't know what to expect.
Mhm.
And our head coach puts in our group and says, "Hey, I know a bunch of you guys were at the orientation party the other night. 3 girls tested positive for COVID. You must let me know if you were at the party."
They what? Wait,
So
you said?
he said, "You must let me know if you're at the party."
Oh, okay.
Because he's like our head coach was also the AD, so he always knew all that stuff. And
Mhm.
he was basically saying like, since you were exposed to it, you had to let him know because you weren't allowed at like school or practice or anything. So me and my roommates are like, what do we do? Like, do we tell him? Because we're like, we don't want to
Yeah.
make a bad impression that the first thing we have to text our coach is like, yeah, we were at this party. Like we're freshmen in college, just like haven't even proven anything. I'm like, we're going through our heads, like, yeah, we cannot tell them. We can't tell them.
Ye
So we don't tell them. I think there was like 4 or 5 guys that like did. And they were all guys that were like on the team last year, new bull. So I can remember we're like having the first practices that week. Something was going wrong in practice. He goes, all right, mother effers. He's like, if y'all ain't gonna tell me, because I know y'all lying about who was at that party and who wasn't. So I'm gonna run it out of you guys. And we started running bow and arrows. So it's like you got to jog the track and then sprint across.
mm.
And long story short, there were a bunch of guys that did confess up. Um,
Did you?
a few days later, but no, it actually worked out. So this would be funny if Bull eventually saw this, but uh one of our roommates, whenever the first day we were running, threw up, and Bull said, "You need to go get tested." Because there's probably like he's like, "Were you at the party?" And Nathan's like, "No, I was not at the party." And he goes, "Well, maybe you got exposed to someone here that's lying about being at the party because he threw up at practice." He goes to get tested, test positive, and then Bull told me and Adam to go get tested. We both test positive. And so, we're out for a week, and I guess the next couple of days of practice were miserable, and it got to the point where a bunch of guys started confessing who was at the party and who wasn't. So we never ended up.
You never told him?
Nope. So
Uh,
that was like my big welcome to college baseball. I was tweaking that whole time. I was freaking out, but ended up working out fine. And yeah.
that's hilarious. So you never had to tell him. Chilling. I mean, you still
Mm-mm.
had to. Wait, did you actually feel sick or
I
no?
think that was the miserables. I had to go get tested like once a week, like spit into a bottle. I remember one time it got to a point where my mouth was so dry. So we had to go on campus like every Monday, go
Mhm.
spit in this bottle to get tested if you have COVID or not. All the people that weren't vaccinated had to do it. So my mouth is so dry, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to spit in this bottle. So I just drink a bottle of water, go in there, have this water in my mouth the whole time, get my
Mhm.
vial, and as soon as I go in there, spit all my water out, seal it up, turn it in. See ya.
He was hacking the system back in the days.
Yeah, had to like they expected like fill this vial up like this much,
That's a lot.
and my mouth was so dry. I'm like, I can't even get like a quarter of that. And so yeah, so did that. But I have to ask, what because I mean, obviously like JUCO, it's like small school stuff, whatever. What was your nutrition looking like whenever you're there? I mean, obviously, I don't know how Polk was, but Lincoln Land, we really didn't have like a strength and conditioning program. We worked out, but it wasn't like a crazy structure or anything. But what'd your nutrition, working out life seem like there?
Yeah, so we had our position player coach, shout out to Coach Rod, she's the man. We would have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we would have lifts in our gym. I wish I could pull up a picture, put it on the screen or something like that of what our gym looked like. But think of like Deb's gym, like that, but like
That's
older
kind
than
of
that.
fire. Oh,
But like
well, that's how ours was. Ours was
yeah,
old.
but yeah, it was like that type of vibe, but way smaller, way older than that. So we lifted 3 times a week in there, full bodies, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays we had sprint work in the fall. So it was pretty legit. We would fucking get after it in there. I'm not gonna lie, the
Mhm.
position player guys, we'd work out at like 7, I think, or 6, whatever it was. Position guys were in there locked in, getting after it. Then nutrition wise, we had I think it was our second year or maybe yeah, I think it was our second year. We had our concession stand was like a trailer, and so during practice or when there weren't games going on, we had stuff in there. So we had like bread, we had peanut butter. There was a pastor that was in the area would come and drop off food for us for like a couple weeks, so like a week of like non or like perishable stuff or non-perishable stuff, whatever it was. So we would have that for the week, but nothing great at the field. It was kind of up to us, but I've always been into nutrition. So I was always cooking chicken, rice,
Mhm.
spinach. I was cooking breakfast. I was bringing like nuts and protein bars and, shit like that to the field. So, I've always liked to really never mind cooking. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
nutrition just kind
That's
of always
how I
been.
was. I got so one of the grills we had at our place in Southern, that smaller smoker. I
This
got
dude,
that.
oh,
I love cooking. I that which I really got into it because I never cooked in high school really. And then going into college, I was like, I knew I was gonna have to cook for myself because I don't think we really had on campus eating in Lincoln Land. We might have. I just never that was the one thing is I never ate on campus in college,
I just
my whole
never.
college career. And, so I got this grill. I, like, was starting to get into it during COVID, whenever we couldn't go to high school anymore, and I my dad got me this Rectech grill. I just remember watching videos over and over, and I used to cook on it, like, every day whenever I was at Lincoln Land, but I was so skinny that I literally lived off of I don't know how many dozen of eggs a morning I ate, or not 1 morning, but a week I went through,
Mm.
and chicken, rice, ground beef, rice. But it's crazy to think like now, like if I eat ground beef and rice, like I get like 93.7 or whatever. But I mean, at that time, I don't even think I was checking the fat
Oh,
protein. I mean, I was just eating it, just trying to get my calories in. I'm like, cause I got to put on weight. And so, yeah, It was good. I cooked for myself my whole college career. I feel like I ate pretty healthy. I did go on my spells at times where I would get a lot of fast food just because you're so tired during the day, especially if it's like after a game or something. You're just like, oh, I don't want to cook, and it's just like so easy to go through a drive-through and get
Yeah.
something. I know it's not good for you, but it's a lot easier doing that during that time when you're burning the calories you are compared to like
Oh,
you do that now, you're cooked. You just can't do that. I mean, it's the hard reality of things, but I mean, it's the truth.
yeah. I went yesterday. I had Chipotle, so I ate out for the first time in probably like since the 4th of July, and I woke
Hmm.
up today 2 pounds heavier. And I know it's simply because of
Really?
that, just because of the sodium and the food volume and all that stuff in there. It's crazy how like, can you still eat out and can you still go out to drink and, eat out and all those things? You can, but it's just not even close to the same as it is cooking those foods at home, right? But at the
Uh,
end of the day, still life. So you have to still
yeah.
go out and enjoy food and drinking, I think, and going out with your friends is super important. And I lost that for a while when I was in prep, and it fucks you up a little bit mentally. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
I'm
That's what.
taking a couple percent more body fat to have a good ass time, like 4th of July. Like if I would have had to have missed out on the 4th of July and you guys were all there doing that, and if I was like in a prep, I'd be fucking pissed. Like would not trade that for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you gotta have that good balance. I think that's the biggest thing about life now is obviously, you have to have the stuff you wanna work towards, because in sports, you're obviously working towards winning a lot of games, winning a championship, but once you get out of that, it's like, "What the hell am I doing now? What am I working towards? I mean, because if you just get in the mode of, like, I'm just waking up to make money at my job that I'm working for a couple hours a day. That's not a good mindset. You got to have other stuff you find enjoyment in. I know me, like I enjoy golfing. I think this is something I'll enjoy. So you got to have other stuff, but it's good to have a balance. I mean, because if you get so stuck in your ways, whatever, then you might look back, a couple of years from now or whatever, and be like, man, I wish I would have done this. I mean, we had a great time at Fourth of July. Like it was so worth going down there. Just
Oh yeah.
unfortunately, it was only a couple of days, but I mean, that's just a good little like it like almost refreshes you. Like for you, I know you're training and working so hard, but it can get to be a lot if you just spend like a day or two just to get away with it or get away from it, whatever, then it'll lock you right back in. You might be working harder the next couple days. Because if you
Hmm.
keep doing it continuously over and over, then it seems like too repetitious.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's kind of always been the big thing for me, especially in college. Like if I didn't like go out, which I'm not saying I went out every weekend, but if I like worked my ass off all week, it's like, what am I working my ass off all week for? We always said like, I remember my high school basketball coach would always be like, um, work all week just not to get paid or whatever on Friday. So it's like that's what I always stuck in my head. In college, it's like, I work my ass off all week. Now it's time to go get paid on the weekends.
Oh, speaking of that, we didn't even say what motion cast. What the hell? Why is it called
Oh
motion?
yeah, yeah.
I don't think we talked about.
Yeah, so, you'll probably give a little better perspective than me on that. I think, like, the first thing to add is, like, I think that's whenever the word motion was kinda coming to, like, it was trending. So
Mhm.
then it kinda just went from there, but
Yeah, you want me to go with it?
yeah,
Okay.
you got it.
So I mean, shit. Me and Graham, we were in motion a lot. Like we get home, fall, after practice on a Friday or something like that. Yo, man, what's the motion tonight? Or damn, we've been landscaping all day. We got practice too. Like we deserve. Let's go get some. Like we need some motion
Mm,
on us. Where's the motion at? And so that was just our thing. We just kept saying motion. We're in motion. Let's get motion. Whatever it is. We eventually made a TikTok page. I don't know how that came about, but we made a TikTok page called the Motion Men, and it was me and Grant. So we were the Motion Man. We were posting on Instagram or not Instagram, posting on TikTok, posting on that page. I don't know for how long, a couple months, and then the season came. I don't know. We weren't super consistent with it, but Motion Men, we were posting on there videos of us like going out, videos of us just doing funny, dumb shit. And I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, Graham, but there was literally times when we would be out at the bar, just out or whatever it is, like maybe in the training room or just out somewhere at Florida Southern, like, it's the Motion Man.
I
Just
just
start
remember
calling us
I
that, bro. I
remember
swear to God,
I
man,
I
dude.
remember one time at
I
Greg's, me
swear.
and you were, like, standing up by the bar or whatever, and we like talking, just me and you were talking or whatever, and some girl like taps on the back of like one of our shoulders. It's like, "Yo, are you the motion man?" I'm like, "What?" I was dying, and then like the guys on the team, like we start rolling into the clubhouse and be like, "Oh, look out! It's the motion man." But
Yeah.
they always thought everyone on the team thought that stuff was so funny, like our
I thought it
TikToks
was
and
good
stuff.
too.
They're like doing our stuff. They're trying to steal, like a bunch of people are trying to steal our shit. Like that's
Yeah,
what it got to.
didn't someone
Yeah,
else
like
come up with something else?
there was like a group of girls that started like the motion women, like trying to be like us.
Yeah, what is that what they were, the motion women or something like
Something
yeah,
like that. Like every time we'd post something, they'd post the same exact thing as
yeah.
us. And it just got to the point where it's just annoying.
So now so now we're still in motion, right? Like, we go out every once in a
But
while, but what's our
different
motion
emotion.
now though?
I think our motion is you know, striving towards our everyday goals. And I think, you know, our goals are kind of similar, like our fitness, wanting to be healthy. I think that's one of the biggest things for anyone is taking care of your body, being healthy. I think that's our biggest motion now. So we feel better every day. Our energy levels are higher and whatnot. And obviously, like fitness, business, you know, making money, making a good livelihood for ourselves, and just being a good person, family, you know, being a family person. I think those are kind of our biggest key things. I mean, I know that's for me right now is my family, making money, and my health. Those are the three big things for me. So,
Mhm. Yeah,
well,
health, self, and wealth.
yes, I
Starts
like that.
days.
I like
Health,
that.
self, and wealth.
Uh,
Got that from my mentor. That's, the 3 most important things, like setting goals out for those things, making sure that we're prioritizing yourself, gotta
mhm,
prioritize your wealth, and you gotta prioritize your family too.
mhm, absolutely.
Yeah. So
One other thing, one topic I want to get into today is something that gets brought up amongst a lot of people is like going through a I'm not saying it's like a real depression, but it's like it is definitely something. Once you get done with sports, and you know you're trying to make that transition in the life, trying to figure yourself out, who you are, what you want to be. Tell me, like, did you experience any of that? Because I know for me, I really did.
hell yeah, I did. For that first day, it was just kinda, like, weird, and then I almost got into a point where I was going out on the weekdays, kinda doing that job, like, ha I wasn't half-assing the job, but it's, like, obviously wasn't something that I was passionate about, like, playing baseball and that, so it was, like, I was in this weird stage where I remember literally waking up on a Wednesday, middle of the week, clock's 11:58 AM, and I'm like, "Bro, like, what are you doing right now? Like, you gotta figure it out," and then you put so much pressure on yourself to try to have it all figured out within the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, first month, 2 months, because you're just so used to having that, like, structure and knowing exactly what you're gonna do, like, been doing it for so long, now it's a completely new chapter of life, and it feels like it's almost, like, depressing because it's gone, but you kinda gotta look at it as in being thankful for it,
Hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
It's just a super weird transition, and, I know people go through it. We went through it. It's not
Hmm.
something that you're just going to be like, "Alright, yeah, don't feel depressed anymore, like, it's all good," and it just goes
Hmm.
away. It's not how it works. You gotta actively go out and see what your new passion is. You're put out there a new goal for yourself, and really, you have to put effort, and it's gonna take a little bit of time, but if you just sit back and just let it just fucking eat you up, it's gonna eat you up.
Yeah.
That's, like, the hardest thing I think going from baseball to now, like you had to go show up to practice and do those things and do that and put the extra work in because it was just like there for you. Now there's nothing there for you. You gotta go get it. Like that's the
Hmm.
biggest difference. You have to go get it or you're gonna get eaten up.
Yeah, sink or swim. I mean, and now
Yeah.
compared
Yeah.
to whenever you're in college, like you're in college, you know, you have your coaches, you have your teammates that are pushing you every single day. Now in life, I mean, I mean, you have your family around you and stuff, but they're not going to sit there and hold your hand for the rest of your life. You know, you have to be a self motivated person. You have to be that person that tells yourself every morning, I'm going to get my ass out of bed. Make my bed, like that book that TC gave you, accomplish
Mm,
something to start the day, which that's something I
yeah.
need to be better at. But yeah, getting that momentum going for the day, accomplish something. And I think that's the biggest thing is you just got to find ways to motivate yourself. If that's journaling, reading a book, setting out goals. I mean, there's just so many different ways, but you have to find what that is that keeps you motivated every single day. And I mean, like I said, once I got out of college, I kind of went through that depression a little bit, that struggle, because I was so used to being stuck in my ways of sports. And now stuff's so much different. It's like it just got to the point where I was like, okay, Grant, you got to figure out how to motivate yourself and what you want out of this life. And I remember I was sitting down with one of my old teammates, and I told him I was going through this struggle, whatever, and he's like, you know what, Grant, because he only ended up playing 2 years, went to a Division 1, had some stuff happen, so he really went through it. Like he was a great one of the best baseball players I played with. I felt so bad, whatever, and he goes, you know what? I was sitting here and thinking the same thing whenever my career got done. If I look back on it, and I wouldn't be sitting here having a drink with you right now, being able to tell old stories if it wasn't for sports. He goes, you know what? Obviously, we all want to make it, but you at the end of the day, you got to be thankful for the friendships, the being able to compete every single day, and everything that came along with it. So you can't just sit here and feel sorry for yourself that it's over. You got to be thankful that it did happen. And he's like, even people that make it all the way and play professional sports, they mainly play professional till they're in their 30s, if they get lucky, late 30s, whatever. I mean, that's only a small percentage of your life. Especially people living into their 80s, 90s now. I mean, those people even have to deal with being done with sports after then. So it's just like take the relationships, take what you learn in sports, and use that as a momentum getter for the rest of your life. Because I know I learned a lot. I met a lot of good people. I wouldn't be on this podcast with Duff if it wasn't for sports. And it's crazy, talking about how I got to where I got and how you got to where you got and how so many things could have went differently, but everything aligned
Yeah.
exactly the way it did. And it had to align perfectly or else we would never even know each other. So, I'm thankful. I'm definitely thankful for being able to compete every day and being able to meet the great people I met. So,
Hell yeah. I agree, man. It's crazy to think about it when you put it like that. Actually,
mm, yeah,
everything
I
been
mean,
aligned. Motion cast wouldn't have been a thing.
yeah, exactly.
It would have never.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
yeah, that's fire. That's fire. I think last thing before we go, before we wrap up the first one, we got the weekly non-negotiable.
Hmm.
One thing that you want to set as a new non-negotiable for you, one thing I'm going to set for a weekly non-negotiable, and then whoever's watching, if you made it this far, you got to set out a weekly non-negotiable too until next week when we come back for episode 2. You got to stick to that weekly non-negotiable. You got something?
I think the biggest thing right now is staying consistent with the plan you've given me with like weighing out my meals. I know after this, I'm going to go run to the grocery store and get my food and prep for the rest of the week.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's the biggest thing is sticking with that because I know I got to be consistent every single day to get to where I want to get. The
Mm.
other big thing is I was kind of like thinking the other day whenever, you were telling me, you're working towards some stuff. I was like, what do I want to do? Like I gotta do something like competition wise. If that's like a golf competition,
Yep.
whatever. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna run a 5K and then I'm gonna run a 5K and then might may do like 5 mile race, half marathon. I don't know, but I'm gonna do
Let's
one
go.
of I don't know how soon it's gonna be, but I know for sure that
Let's
I'm
go.
doing it. Yeah.
Hey, let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. In
How about you?
2026, before 2026.
2026. Oh, 2026 for sure. Not like the I don't know about the half marathon. That's probably gonna be long. That's gonna be wild work, but at
I mean,
least at least the 5K for sure.
we could do that Apex thing I was talking about. We could both go do it. We can see that. We can talk about it
Yeah, we
off.
can see. We can talk about it.
But yeah, yeah.
What's yours?
Mine's gonna be up at 4 a.m. Because last week I was 4:30, 5:30. So it's 7:21 right now. But gotta make sure I'm up at 4 a.m. Up at the same time every week or every day. Bed at the same time. Make sure my sleep consistency is there. Get that body into some deep REM sleep so I can feel good. Wake up and just fucking conquer the day.
Hmm.
Bang. Make that bed and then get into work. My morning routine.
So yeah,
But yeah.
that's good. That's good. One thing I did want to add. So obviously we talked about this podcast being a platform. It's pretty much just us having a normal conversation. Duff and I telling old stories, talking about what worked for us, what doesn't work for us in our college life, our life now, before college, whatnot. So feel free to put stuff in the comments about topics you guys would like for us to bring up because we kind of just have a conversation and we don't really have anything set down. We plan on bringing a lot of different guests on here. It's not going to be a specific target of audience. It's going to be a wide variety of people that Duff and I know, just because we want to have a lot of different conversations with different topics so everyone can get different perspectives. How we relate to those people, how we don't relate to those people, what their mindset is now, whatnot. So feel free to add in stuff, guests that you guys think we should bring on or whatnot. So
Yeah, definitely. Have a guest on, maybe next time, maybe the time after that. We'll see how everything goes. But yeah, anyone that's again made it this far, if you could do us a massive favor, we're getting this thing rocking and rolling. If you got any value or any entertainment, anything like that out of this video, hit that subscribe button, drop us a follow, leave us a review, comment, like, share, get it out, post on your story. Anything would be very, very would be very
appreciated. Yes,
that's the word I
yes,
was looking for.
yes. Be thankful for it. So yeah, we're just two dudes that are good friends, just trying to get our message out there. We feel it's important, something fun for us to do as well. So it'd be greatly appreciated if y'all would spread our stuff. So
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Hell yeah. You got anything else to add, G Money?
nope, let's have a week. Let's have a week.
Let's have a week. Again, thank you for everyone for tuning in. That's episode 1 of Motion Cast. Episode 2 coming in next week. We got J Dubs. We got G Money. Hey, everyone, stay in motion. Let's go. Let's earn a lifestyle. We'll talk to you
Yes,
guys next week.
sir. Have a good week, everyone.